Disney can't figure out how to do a Firefly reboot. Welcome to Sidetrack, your sci-fi TV and movie channel. So, if you are a regular to Sidetrack, you'll know that I have a few sources in and around a few television studios now. I have a bit of a network, and they feed me bits of information. Now, one of them was talking to me about another TV show that's been planned for a reboot. While he was telling me about this, he happened to slip in a little tidbit that I don't think he actually meant to tell me. But, once I heard it, I was not going to let it go.
This is all very doable. Shouldn't be a problem at all. A few modifications. Get some real maneuverability out of this boat.
What is the news? Well, Disney now own the rights to make Firefly. They bought Fox, and they've actually got Firefly the series and Serenity the movie on Disney Plus now. So the person I talked to is on the creative side of things, and he gets to see little bits of a lot of what's going on in a couple of different studios. And he is telling me that he was actually in a meeting a couple of months ago, and they were talking about the Firefly reboot. Now, I've talked to you about a Firefly reboot a couple of times and how Disney have been planning it, and I know lots of other like podcasts and other channels have done the same. The problem is that we've had no official announcement, and these rumours have been knocking around for well over a year. The reason why we haven't had any official announcement, according to my source, is that Disney cannot figure out what to do with the reboot.
You paid money for this, sir? On purpose?
Wow. Come on, seriously, Zoe, what do you think?
Honestly, sir, I think you got robbed.
Robbed? What? What do you mean?
It's a piece of feu.
They have written 5 pilots, apparently. Two were full hard reboots, so forget that the original series ever happened. And the other 3 would be soft reboots, where they were bringing back 1 or 2 characters from the original series. My source tells me that Jewel State is the primary candidate to return, and there may have even been initial conversations, but that is just a rumour, I can't confirm it. By the way, if you do like the content, please don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the bell notification. You could also consider becoming a member. Hit the join button. That little bit of contribution every month really helps us to create more content. So, 5 pilots. All of them have been looked at by different executives within Disney, and all of them have been scrapped.
Very well. You get the perks? Got your own room? No? You share a bunk. That one. Really?
Jane, this ain't funny.
Yeah, I ain't laughing.
You move on over to this side. We'll not only show you where the stuff's at, we'll see to it you get your fair share. Not no sad 7.
Private room?
Jane!
Your own room, full one of the kitchen, whole shot.
Jane, I ain't asking.
Shut up.
There were rumours a few months ago, this was pushed mostly by the Popcast YouTube channel, that actually Jon Favreau was involved in the development of the new Firefly reboot. Now, I poo-pooed that completely when I heard that rumour. I said, what a load of rubbish. But it turns out it's kind of true. Not quite true, but kind of true. Jon Favreau apparently has been brought in as a consultant to speak to the people that are trying to put this project together. And he was very clear on to say that the 5 proposals so far of the way that they should reboot this TV show, none of them work. And he really is, I think, in a very good position at Disney that whatever he says they will listen to. So what does this mean for any Firefly reboot at the moment, and do we even want to see a Firefly reboot? Personally, Firefly is one of those shows that I love. It's up there with my favourites, mainly because it was taken away from us too soon, but also because 2 or 3 of the episodes of Firefly are just perfect. They're perfectly rounded episodes. Out of Gas jumps to mind in particular as a perfect episode. If this show is going to come back, I would absolutely adore to see it. But there is a massive risk, because the TV show was very much character-driven. Nathan Fillion was a big part of that. Alan Tudyk was a big part of that. And without them, and without characters like Jane, who I don't know whether he would return or not, I'm not sure it would work. They did really have lightning in a bottle in a TV show that in lots of ways shouldn't have worked. I should also point out that this source is the person that told me that the plan was for Tim Minear to be the showrunner, and he said that is still potentially the plan. Tim Minear is still very much involved in this. He is managing. He hasn't written any episodes that my source is aware of, but he is very much acting as a consultant, and as the plan basically is that he will become the showrunner, but until anything's greenlit, anything contracts are written, it's very informal at the moment. My source also tells me, though, that Jon Favreau will not actually have any direct influence on the TV show if it is made, that his consultancy is just a temporary thing, and they brought him in really because, well, for one, he apparently does love the show, and as soon as they said, would you like to, he just jumped at the chance. But it was, look, we're having a problem with this, we can't figure it out. You got any ideas? That was kind of the way around, and Jon Favreau just went to 3 or 4 meetings, and that was the most of his influence on the matter. There are no plans to bring him back for any other conversations. He is very busy with other projects. So, what does this mean for a Firefly reboot? It basically means that it's not going to happen anytime soon. They have absolutely no idea what to do with this franchise, even though they would love to give it a go, because, as actually my source said, that in one meeting, an executive got hold of the numbers for how many people have watched the Firefly series on Disney Plus, and he thought the viewing figures were wrong because they were so high. A lot of people have watched Firefly on Disney because it's the first time it's been on a streaming service for a long time, and I've watched it 3 times myself. So Disney really, really want to make this show, because you only have to go on Facebook and look at Firefly fan pages, say that 5 times quickly, to see how much interest there still is in the show. Disney are very good at squeezing every last drop of blood out of every franchise they own, so I am absolutely certain that this will become a reality at some point soon. But I do think that it'll be Firefly by name only. It will be nothing like the original. It will be set in the same universe. I hope for a soft reboot with loads of new stories, because at the end of the day, it's a big universe. There are lots of stories to tell. But like I say, Firefly by name only. This is not going to be a continuation of any story we've seen already.
Right, smart, purchase this vessel. I tell you what, you buy this ship, treat her proper, she'll be with you for the rest of your life. Son? Hey, son. You hear a word I've been saying?
So if you are new to the channel, please like, subscribe, hit that bell notification, it really helps us out. Also, if you enjoy the content, consider becoming a fully fledged side tracker. Hit that join button. As always, guys, please stay safe. I'll see you next time. They know there is an appetite for it. You only have to go on Facebook or whatever else and look at, you only have to go on Facebook, Twitter, whatever else, and look at Firefly fan page. You only have to go on Facebook and look at Firefly. So, if you are new to the channel, please like, subscribe, hit the bell notification, it really helps us out. And please, if you enjoy the content, So if you are new to the channel, please like, subscribe, hit the bell.
Serenity and Firefly, if talking about reboots, would you do it? You've been asked a million times, but would you do that?
Why wouldn't I do that? It was one of the best things that ever happened to me.
Now, let me ask you, because I've read an article or something that says, this was the best acting job I've ever had. I think that was for Firefly. Or maybe
Yes.
Serenity.
Yes.
At the time.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
But my question is, and you could just divert if you want, what if they do these projects without Joss Whedon?
Oh, that would be heartbreak.
Because he created them.
Yeah, those are his. How can you? How would you?
Well, because of all the controversy and all the stuff that happened. What's your take on that? Or would you rather not speak? I just wonder.
Correct me. Listen, I read that article.
Yes.
Nowhere in there at any point in time did he mention Firefly. I
I had an entirely, that was not my experience with that man.
What was your experience?
Funny, self-deprecating, incredibly talented, maybe a little haunted. I mean,
Right.
listen, by his own admission, that guy's a work in progress, and I appreciate that. I would work with Joss again in a second. I would work with him again in a second.
And has he ever hinted about doing one of these projects again? Nathan,
I mean,
how do you feel about?
we talk, we joke, we fantasize. If I say anything too solid, it'll go crazy. I mean, I hate being responsible for that crap. But
Yeah.
but that's an entire cast and crew of people who had a fantastic job on that job. It was short-lived, so it didn't have an opportunity to sign.
Hey guys, I'm Tom Welling. I used to play Clark Kent on Smallville.
I'm Michael Rosenbaum. I used to play. Join Tom Welling and Mike. The ultimate small. The fan base is remarkable.
So it did have legs. I was surprised at how we were treated. I was surprised at how it ended. I kept saying, guys, don't worry. We're telling great stories. People love the show. It's a good show. We're doing everything right. Don't worry. And then you're canceled. That's like an hour later.
Heartbreaking.
Oh my gosh, yes. Oh my God. It was terrible. It's terrible.
And then this whole fan base. I mean, a huge fan base. You go to cons.
Yeah.
How many people? What percentage want to talk about Serenity or Firefly?
You know, I'll tell you, I couldn't, I mean, at this point, you have so many projects. People really rarely go to just the one. So they'll list off a bunch. But I'll say this. I used to be able to spot a Firefly fan. I used to say, oh, clearly.
Is it the shirt? Is it the uniform?
Typically a generational thing. Yeah, you'd think you would know. And that's now a thing of the past. I no longer have that gauge where I can say, oh, that's a Castle fan and that's a Firefly fan.